Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah, and in today's video I'm going to be doing another reviewing you guys' Letterboxd accounts. So before I get started, make sure you subscribe, give this a big thumbs up, and yes, I will be reviewing you guys' other Letterboxd accounts because so many people have reached out, and I will be eventually doing yours. So make sure you're subscribed to be notified, and hopefully you'll see your video up next. Okay, so for today's Letterboxd account, we're going to be looking at Duru. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. And looks like, let's get started with your account. Okay, so Duru, once again, don't know if I'm pronouncing that name correctly. Looks like your top 4 favorite movies are Before Sunrise, La La Land, Tangled, and After Sun. So a lot of emotional, heartbreaking films basically. So like we have Before Sunshine, La La Land, After Sun, Tangled. It is emotional, I guess, but your recent activity, we have Almost Famous, which I really want to watch. It's on my watch list. By the way, make sure you go follow me on my Letterboxd. I'll leave it in the description box down below. And you guys can recommend me more films to add to my watch list. And yes, I do watch my watch list. I only watch my watch list. Those Moving Cast, which I've never heard of. Superman, which I've recently watched. If you want to see how much I rated that, you guys can go check my Letterboxd. And then we have La La Land, which I agree should be a 5-star. So it looks like you have watched 71 movies this year, and you've logged in 282 movies in total, and you have 65 movies in your watch list. We'll be looking at your watch list later on in the video, and as long as the films that you have watched. But now let's get on with the review of your top 4. Okay, let's start off with La La Land. I feel like everybody knows La La Land. I've already reviewed this in detail in my video, my first video actually on YouTube. La La Land is also on my top 4. So it is directed by Damien Chazelle in 2016, and it is rated a 4.1 stars on Letterboxd. So I'm gonna read you guys the summary, then I'll talk about it a little bit. Here's to the fools who dream. Mia, an aspiring actress, serves lattes to movie stars in between auditions, and Sebastian, a jazz musician, scrapes by playing cocktail party gigs in dingy bars. But as success mounts, they are faced with decisions that begin to fray the fragile fabric of their love affair, and the dreams they worked so hard to maintain in each other threaten to rip them apart. Okay, so I feel like everybody knows this movie already, but basically we have Mia, who wants to be an actress, and then we have Sebastian, who wants to be a successful musician, basically, specifically in jazz, although he thinks, everyone thinks that jazz is dying. Anyways, so they end up meeting up at this party. They ended up talking a little bit, and then they parted ways, and then they just started meeting up, having fun, and they've realized that, oh, they actually had so much in common, like their love for their career and just for things in life and for arts in general. And they also just fell in love, basically. And then throughout, I think they've been together for like a year or something, they end up breaking up because, she wants to focus on her acting, he wants to focus on his music, and she has to go to Paris. And basically, they either have to choose, they're between choosing their love or their career. And they end up choosing their career, and we basically, Mia is already married and has a child, and she's a successful actress. And then we have Sebastian, who is a successful jazz musician with his own, I guess, jazz club. And then we see towards the end of the movie, Mia going to that club not knowing it's his, and then them seeing each other for the last time, and then saying their goodbyes, I guess. So yes, I did give this movie a 5-star. I loved everything about the cinematography, the music. It was my first ever musical that I watched, and I really enjoyed it. Honestly, Damien Chazelle is an amazing director. I love a lot of his movies, like Whiplash, Babylon, so he is pretty good. I've obviously talked more in detail about this movie, like the colors and everything behind that in my first video, so I'm not gonna keep on going. But yes, I gave this a 5 stars. The next one is Tangled. I feel like everybody knows Tangled. It is directed by, I don't know if I'm gonna be pronouncing this correctly, but Byron Howard and Nathan Grano. I'm really sorry. In 2010. That was a lot ago for the animation to be that great, okay? So it is rated 4 stars on Letterboxd, and now I'm gonna read you guys a summary, but I feel like everybody already knows what Tangled is about, right? They're taking adventure to new lengths. Feisty teenager Rapunzel, who has long and magical hair, wants to go and see sky lanterns on her 18th birthday, but she's bound to a tower by her overprotective mother. She strikes a deal with Flynn Rider, a charming wanted thief, and the duo set on an action-packed escape. Right? So basically, we have Rapunzel, who has been kidnapped from, I guess, her royal family at a very young age by this witch, Mother Gothel, and she basically stranded her in this tower, raising her because Rapunzel has magical hair, which I guess keeps Mother Gothel in her youth. And she does not let her go out because if she's scared that she's gonna lose her and she's not gonna stay young anymore. So she basically, I guess, keeps her captive in this tower and tells her that, oh, the outside is dangerous and everything. And then one day, Flynn Rider was sent to steal a crown from the palace, but he ends up in Rapunzel's tower. And then she basically ends up like straining him because he's an intruder, and it's like the first time she's seen another human except for Mother Gothel. And she basically tells him, I will give you the castle, but you have to, you know, take me on an adventure to see the lanterns because it's her 18th birthday. He does. They end up, you know, fall in love, but then Mother Gothel starts sabotaging them, and at the end they part ways. But then towards the end, Rapunzel finds her family and Flynn reunites with them all. So I feel like everybody knows this already. And Mother Gothel ends up dying. Rapunzel ends up losing her hair. He ends up getting stabbed. Anyways, but he's still alive. So I give this a 5. I think Rapunzel is one of my like top 3 favorite Disney movies. Like my top favorite Disney movies are Tangled, Anastasia, and Brave. This is Before Sunrise, directed by Richard Linklater in 1995. It is rated a 4.3 on Letterboxd. So I've only watched Before Sunrise. I know there's like Before Sunshine and something else. I've only watched this one like recently, so I'm going to be talking about this a little more because I've recently watched it, I guess. So I'm going to read the summary for you guys. Can the greatest romance of your life last only one night? A young man and woman meet on a train in Europe and wind up spending one evening together in Vienna. Unfortunately, both know that this will probably be their only night together. Yes, that basically like summarizes everything. So, because that's all that happens, honestly. They end up meeting up on a train, and you know, he was gonna get off that stop to Vienna. She was gonna stay, and he told her, you know, come with me. They also already chatted on the train, and you know, they bonded a little bit. But he tells her, you know, come with me, spend the day at Vienna, and then you can go back. And she was like, oh, she was hesitating at first, but then yeah, she agreed, and they went. And then they end up bonding. They end up going around Vienna, you know, sightseeing, you know, going to bars and stuff, and they end up confessing their love to each other towards the end, which is kind of crazy because they've only known each other for literally less than 24 hours. So I don't know what that's about, but yeah, I really did enjoy it. It's one of those movies where nothing is really happening and you're just following these two people basically around Vienna for one day. That's basically the whole movie, but I really enjoyed it. Like, I really liked it. It's very relaxing for some reason. Obviously, we get to find out things about him and about her, but that's basically the main summary of the movie. I did enjoy it. Is it my favorite? No. I gave it a 3.5, so lower than Duru's rating or the average rating on Letterboxd. But yeah, 3.5 I think is reasonable. So the next movie is After Sun, which is another movie that I watched recently. It is directed by Charlotte Wells. its rating is 4.2. So I'm gonna read, and apparently this is based on a true story. So, memory burns. Sophie reflects on the sheer joy and private melancholy of a holiday she took with her father 20 years earlier. Memories real and imagined fill the gaps between mini DV footage as she tries to reconcile the father she knew with the man she didn't. So yeah, this is rated 4.2 on Letterboxd. Basically, yes, this father and girl go on vacation. You know, her parents are divorced, but yeah, her and her father go on vacation to Turkey, and we basically follow like DVD footage of the girl, I guess, filming, sometimes the father filming, sometimes we see it from a third person perspective, but we just see their relationship, them being on vacation, and we start to learn that the father is very depressed and he's not doing very well. It's really heartbreaking. It's so beautiful. I love the way it was filmed, and we see the girl kind of struggle a little bit with trying to be close with her father, but at the same time, like, there's this like gap in a way. And towards the end of the movie, we see, you know, the girl going back home, I guess, to her mother, and him just fading into the void. Now, it was not said if he did die at the end. I tried searching. I don't think he did die, but I feel like the movie kind of leaves it open. You know, like, did he end up offing himself off, or, you know, did he survive, I guess, but is still in this void. But yeah, I think the real father in real life did not die. I'm not really sure. This movie is heartbreaking. It's another one of those movies that are very slow. If you enjoy Luca Guadagnino's movies, you will enjoy this one. It is heartbreaking, it is slow, it is just beautiful. Cinematography is amazing. The acting is wonderful from this actress who played Sophia, just perfect. Also Paul Mescal, amazing. So I think this is like this is the first time I've seen him in a movie. Like, the only thing I've watched that he's in is Normal People, and that's basically it. Also, I know he was in Gladiator and a bunch of other films, but I did not watch any of them. So I've only watched him in Normal People and now After Sun. He's amazing. But yeah, I gave this a 4.5. I loved it so much. All right, now let's go ahead and look at your movies that you have watched. Now, I want to just talk about your top 4. Your top 4 is amazing. Literally, I loved all the movies on your top 4. They're emotional, they're beautiful, and I literally have nothing else to say but compliment it. So let's look at the movies you have watched this year, or you've watched all around. We have Spider-Man, we have Moana 2, which I have not watched. We have Family Pack, we have Gladiator, I was just speaking about it. We have The Secret of Us. So I see like a lot of newer movies, a lot of like documentaries. We have Maria, I have not seen that. We have Inside Out 2, Anora, and The Substance, and Challengers, which I loved. We have the new Mean Girls, I have not seen. We have Willy Wonka, which I have not seen once again. We have Leave the World Behind, which I have seen and is really bad. We have Fresh, Don't Look Up, All Too Well, Cruella, WandaVision, Euphoria, a lot of Taylor Swift, a lot of musicians, I guess. The Queen's Gambit, Emma, Pearl, The Menu, Policeman, Don't Worry Darling, Bones and All. So I love your movie taste. Like, there's a lot of movies in here that I love. A lot of movies I have seen. So pretty good. Yes, your Letterboxd account is amazing. I enjoyed every single thing about it. You have amazing taste, wonderful, immaculate. I enjoyed it very much. So yes, that is it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure you subscribe, give this a big thumbs up. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye.